Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Bubby Brister and Friends Fantasy Football Podcast presented by Mountain Dew Baja Blast. Bubby is testifying before Congress this week, so he won't be joining us. I'm here with Nick, though. Nick, how you doing?
Man, I've had better weeks, especially in fantasy.
Do you see there's 6 3-1 teams in our league?
Yes, I did. And trust me, I'm on the back end of the X amount of 1 and 3 teams out here.
We have an 0-4 team. What's up, Dead Money? Shout out.
Shout out.
He's not happy.
It's tough. He lost a nail. He lost a nail biter.
If he doesn't win a game this year, he's got to come on the podcast and explain himself.
Bubby demands. He demands.
He's got a face trial before Bubby.
That'd be hilarious.
So you just want to dive into these topics?
Yeah, let's dive right in it.
All right. So the Vikings are 4-0. The last time they started 4-0 was 8 years ago when they actually started 5-0, so 2016. But they finished 8-8. So they started 5-0 and finished 8-8. My question to you is, can you name the leading passer, receiver, and runner on the 2016 Minnesota Vikings team?
2016, Kirk Cousins, right? So
Nope.
that was Kirk Cousins. So was that
No,
that wasn't Brett Favre, was it?
Not Brett Favre.
That wasn't Brett Favre either. In 16? Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah, I had to look all this up because I was very curious.
Yeah, that's damn. Because I would think it wasn't Mr. It wasn't that backup. Because 16, that wasn't when the Eagles won the Super Bowl. Was it when the Eagles won the Super Bowl that year? When they beat the Vikings, lost to the Eagles in the playoffs.
Remember, this team was 8-8, so they didn't go to the playoffs.
Well, I mean, teams do make the playoffs in 8-8 sometimes. So that's what I was trying to think. But Minnesota, when they had a good quarterback to even do that, that's
right.
That's
when I tell you this quarterback is, you're gonna know they didn't make the playoffs.
All right, go.
You ready? You want the answer?
Yeah, I have no idea.
A former number 1 overall draft pick, drafted by the Rams. The Rams traded him to the Eagles for Nick Foles.
Sam Bradford?
Sam Bradford.
Okay. Sam Bradford
Remember they traded for
Yeah.
The Vikings traded for him in training camp after Teddy Bridgewater nearly lost his leg.
Poor Teddy. Shout out Teddy Bridgewater. He's a coach now. Coach now of a high school team.
So do you know who the leading rusher was?
Adrian Peterson was probably out that team by then. So I think it had to be Dalvin Cook.
Adrian Peterson was on the team. He shredded his knee in week 2. He had 37 carries for 72 yards at a time, a 1.9 yards per carry average.
Okay.
So they won 3 games after he shredded his knee.
Shit. So it's not Dalvin Cook?
Not Dalvin Cook.
Because Dalvin Cook was same draft with Jameis Winston. So I'm like, what the hell?
This guy signed a free agent contract with the 49ers and immediately shredded his knee 2 years in a row. He was on the Chiefs last season, so he won a Super Bowl.
Oh,
I do not believe he's on a current roster this year.
Was on the Chiefs last year? Running back?
Yeah.
It's not Shady McCoy. I have no idea.
This is Jerick McKinnon.
Jerick McKinnon, deep. That's a deep dive right there. Deep cut.
He had 539 yards. The second leading rusher on the team was Matt Asiata with 402 yards.
Oh,
he did score 6 touchdowns, though.
Matt Asiata, he had a run. He's a guy that was a practice squad player, and he had a run.
He was a bruising running style, I remember. And the leading receivers, do you have any guess on the... I'll accept one. There's 3 good answers here, though, for leading receiver on the 2016 Vikings.
No idea. 2016 Vikings? Stephon Diggs. That's it.
Yep, Diggs, 84 catches, 903 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, Stephon.
The other guy is currently on the Panthers.
Right, it's what's the name? Yeah, they were. That's the only thing they had on that team, and that was I forgot his name. But yeah. Tall dude on the Panthers. He's like the only good receiver, really, technically, on the Panthers. He's old.
He's
That's
currently injured.
Yeah, it happens. Playing for the Panthers.
Adam Thielen. 69
He,
catches, 967 yards, 5 touchdowns. His wife seems like a real treat, too.
Oh, I don't know nothing about that. I think they were a really good 1-2 punch because they definitely complement each other. Where Adam Thielen runs post routes and more post routes and deep inside cuts, where Stephon Diggs plays out routes and go routes. So they definitely complement each other. It's smart of franchises to have 1-2 punches that complement each other.
And they had a third punch in Kyle Rudolph, the tight end. He had 83 catches, 840 yards, and 7 touchdowns in 2016. That's pretty good.
Former Buccaneer. He tried to jump on the Buccaneers team, try to win it with champion.
And then I forgot. Remember the Vikings season started off terribly when they lost their quarterback, J.J. McCarthy, for the season. So this 4-0 start without, Darnold really wasn't supposed to be, thrown in there the way he was. Or
I was watching First Things First today, and they brought up a good point about Sam Darnold that if you remember, not last year, because he didn't play at all behind Brock Purdy, but if you go back farther, when he was on the Carolina Panthers, he was 4-2.
Yeah.
Because Baker flamed out, and then all of a sudden he jumped in for Baker, and then he helped them get right into playoff contention, where they almost made the playoffs way back 2 years ago. So Sam Darnold was getting it together, and I think he has the potential to be a legit starter now. The way he's playing so solid now. And if you remember when he was drafted, he was a 1-year starter at USC. So he didn't have a lot of reps either. So everybody knew he had the DNA and he had the tools to do it, but he didn't have the experience yet. So kind of being thrown in a bad situation in New York. Sorry, Todd Bowles, but it was a bad situation. He had no he had no offensive coordinator really there in New York to really help him. His talent around him wasn't that great. Expectations were super high. New York market, he flamed out. You know what I mean? So shout out to Darnold making it happen.
I like Bill Belichick's quote this week on Sam Darnold. He said, "The Jets are the only team that didn't like him."
Bill Belichick, I know he wants to coach again, but I'd rather hear him do commentary. He's better at commentary than Tom Brady is. Tom Brady's not good at it. Tom Brady's not good at it.
I haven't seen him. I haven't seen him yet.
He called the Buccaneers-Eagles game this past weekend, and he just, he's all like, wow, look at that, wow, that happened. You know what I mean?
Oh, no.
You know what it comes off to me, it comes off as Jordan-esque, where well, you should be able to do this. I did it. Why can't you? I'm really fucking good. Why can't you do it? And it's bro, not everybody's like that. Well, Bill Belichick's kind of he's very matter of fact how he says stuff. And he comes with that dry demeanor, but he's being kind of snarky with it now. It's kind of yeah, well, they should find better talent. It's duh.
I don't want to waste too much time on this. The Baker Mayfield Tom Brady mini controversy this week, where Baker said he was kind of brought in to loosen up the clubhouse a little bit because Brady had everybody on edge all the time. I loved Brady's response to that, where he said, "What's stressful to me is not winning championships." He said, "If I wanted to have fun, I would have taken my kids to Disneyland." Had you heard anything about the Bucks being a little edgy when Brady was there, or could you feel that from watching the games and the body language, especially that second season?
They were really edgy on the third season. The third season was bad. He was going through that divorce. You know what I mean? The whole vibe was fucked. You know what I mean? You could tell he was a shell of himself. He had no center. He's throwing stuff. He's not communicating. He's not having fun. You knew something was up with Gronkowski. Was I ain't coming back. I don't want no part of this. You know what I mean? Rob was I'm going to keep partying. I'm done. I did 2. Y'all pay me. Y'all could just pay me for that third. I'm out of here. I'm not coming back. You know what I mean? When Rob didn't come back, that's the canary in the coal mine. And it was something's not right. because even Rob's not believing in trying to get this third, and yes, you could be a big competitor. However, you gotta be a straight dick about it. And Tom, for all he is, he's a really nice guy, it seems like, but he could be a real jerk when playing football. He doesn't really, what I mean? Not like Peyton Manning, where Peyton is a perfectionist, and he's going to try to figure it out, but he's not. You're not seeing Peyton on sideline throwing tablets, yelling at players, and this and third. He just never done that in his career, so it's hard to compare them to, but, so, yeah, and Baker came in there with expectations of following Tom Brady, who brought a championship to Tampa Bay. Thank you. But at the same time, Baker's playing MVP football right now, and he's having a good time. It is loose. It loose in the sense that players are having fun, and Baker is a guy who likes. Baker's a frat guy. You could tell he's a frat guy.
His teammates love him everywhere he goes.
He's like, hey, let's have a good time. All right, guys. All right. Get your weight up, boy. He likes talking trash to other opposing team members, teammates, and everything else, whatever. So he's that guy. He's your player's player quarterback. He doesn't feel he's above this team. He understands, and I think he understands that he needs his teammates to be great for him to be great. He understands that fully.
So Dak Prescott has now beaten the Giants 13 straight times. Can you guess which quarterback holds the record for most consecutive starts against one team with a streak like that?
Would that be Peyton Manning against the Texans?
No, I give you a hint. It was a Miami Dolphins quarterback.
Ooh, was that Dan Marino?
No, his son played for the University of Michigan.
Brian Griese?
Well, Bob Griese's the answer, but yeah, Brian Griese was the son.
I was like, Brian Griese?
Yeah.
Wait a minute, he did what? All right. Bob Griese. All right.
Bob Griese, 17 wins in a row versus the Bills from 68 to 79.
Jesus.
Prescott has not lost to the Giants since the Giants swept the Cowboys in Dak's 2016 rookie season.
Jeez.
And Dak's 13 consecutive wins ties Steve Young's 13 versus the Rams from 1987 to 1998, as well as Brady's 13 from 2003 to 2010 against the Bills also.
That's interesting, because I wouldn't be thinking he would beat the Bills that much, because I felt like the Bills was a house of horror for him. Like, he just, every time he would face the Bills, he would get that one loss year against the Bills.
Dak will have to beat the Giants 21 more times before breaking Brady's record for most wins against one team with 33 over Buffalo.
He ain't doing that.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. He ain't doing that. That's a decade of dominance.
I don't understand how Steve Young is on that list from 1987, because he didn't even start starting games until like
the 90s.
90.
Right.
Yeah.
The hell? Something's not right. There's some fake stats. There's some false stats here.
I remember being
Steve Young
kid.
Is Steve Young just getting the win total because he's behind Montana, so he's collecting the win total? Is that how it works?
I hope not. I remember the 49ers were on TV a lot when I was a kid, and I remember watching their games, and every once in a while Steve Young would come in because Joe Montana would get just fucking thrashed. And every time Steve Young came in, I was like, wow, I really like this guy. I mean, I'm like 9 years old at the time. And I was like, he's good. Somebody needs to get Steve Young and let him play. So then when he started starting and became good, I was like, look at that little scout over here. So you ready to dig into these box scores?
Yeah, let's dig in.
All right. We'll start with me, of course. The fantasy football team versus Dead Money. I improved to 3-1. Dave has now lost 4 in a row. He's 0-4. This game was 149 to 136. Head coach played a big part in it, but not all of it. I had the Houston head coach. They won. I've used the Houston head coach 3 times now. They've won all 3 games I've played them in, but they've never won by more than 6 points. Their win totals this year are 2, 6, and 4. So, I'm not too confident rolling them out there. a little bit of fool's gold here with the Houston head coach. Jaden Daniels, 31 points again. He's the number one quarterback in our league, scoring-wise. I have people now coming up to me who are like, I told you Jaden Daniels was going to be good. I'm like, bitch, you didn't know he was going to be this good. Nobody knew. Because if you did, the Bears would have drafted him. Like, everybody knew he was going to be an improvement over Sam Howell. That's basically all you were saying.
Right.
That's not saying anything.
Yeah, you're right. You're right about that.
Devon A-Chain continues to fall into a pit, just 9 points, 15 yards rushing. Brian Robinson killing it, 101 yards, touchdown, 28 points. CeeDee Lamb finally had a breakout game, 22 points, 7 catches, 98 yards, and a touchdown on Thursday night. Chris Godwin, another steady game. Brock Bowers has been a little disappointing now 2 weeks in a row. Of course, he had his 2 big weeks, the weeks I didn't play him, and then, I mean, he's on the Raiders, so I really got to temper expectations anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. You know what I mean? Raiders are kind of going through an influx right now.
I didn't know Debo came back this week, so I had just put Jawan Jennings in the lineup. I'm lucky I got 11 points out of him. He led the 49ers in receiving yards with 88, but he only had 3 catches. I kind of need him to hang on until Cooper Kupp comes back.
Whenever he gets back. Yeah. That's a true story there.
Yeah.
So I have a question.
If he does come back, too, it might not be for long.
I have a question for you, and I was thinking about this. Because with your matchup, you have A-Chain, and Deb Money's got Tyreek Hill. So this weekend, we saw 2 different things. I like to call the odd couple pairing quarterback handcuffs. Where Miami Dolphins, they had Tua was hurt. Skylar Thompson, then he got hurt. So they picked up any quarterback. They could choose any quarterback off the couch. They picked Tyler Huntley, who is nothing like Tua, to run
Pro Bowler.
He's a Pro Bowler, but he's nothing like Tua, where he's a Pro Bowler.
Right.
Tyler Huntley's a Pro Bowler behind Lamar, and they play exactly the same. Where you see in Indianapolis, where Richardson went down, and all of a sudden Flacco, who he says he's 8 days younger than that guy's mom, you know what I mean? And he's like, they play way different. There's no quarterback keepers, but it works out for the Colts. How do you feel about these mismatch odd couple like backups? Like, why are teams like electing this? Why would they do that?
So the Ravens kind of go out of their way to do this every year with Lamar. They had Robert Griffin as a backup. Josh Johnson is on the team now. Huntley was there. The Ravens specifically target a guy who has a similar style to Lamar. Flacco, I'll give a pass to on the Colts because he's a known, proven commodity. He excelled last year with the Browns. But the Dolphins, shame on you. You knew Tua was a ticking time bomb, and you didn't even employ a backup quarterback. You were totally caught with your pants down, and now your season's fucked. You ruined my Devon A-Chan pick. He was going to have a breakout year. Freeman is stuck with the corpse of Tyreek Hill on his team. I said last week he should have traded him. Tyreek Hill is doomed this season without Tua.
There was 2 plays on Monday Night Football, which, again, ESPN, get it together. You guys played Tennessee and Miami on your main channel, and you played the Lions in Seattle on the app, ESPN Plus. What's wrong with you? But what's wrong with you? That's not right.
Oh, that's why to get people to. That's why to get people to subscribe to the streaming service. That makes sense. From
out of here, the Manning cast has to struggle going through this terrible game. Golly, poor Omaha Productions.
Taysom Hill outscored Tyreek Hill. That's how fucked Tyreek Hill is.
It's crazy because when you look at the stat line of zero catches, 0 yards, it was all rushing. That's hilarious. Olave showed up for him, 8 for 87. He showed up finally. Moss in Cincinnati it's a weird situation for him because Zach is getting carries, but his handcuff is more effective. Tony Pollard, he's been they just ran the ball on Monday night. They gave up trying to pass the ball in Tennessee.
I gave Freeman 54 points in this game also with that shitty trade I made with giving him Darnold and Zach Moss. I don't regret trading Sam Darnold. I was going to drop him anyway after Brindle dropped Adam Thielen. But giving him Zach Moss for Zamir White is just a total disaster so far. Now, I'm stuck with Zamir White. He averaged 2.9 yards a carry. He's becoming unplayable. But, I don't know. You see anything here for Freeman? Marvin Harrison had a nice game.
Marvin Harrison had a good game. Tony Pollard sprung loose for a touchdown. He does have Sam Darnold, which definitely helps him out because he still has Anthony Richardson hoping. Tank Dell, though. Tank Dell.
You can drop Tank Dell and you can drop Anthony Richardson.
It just sucks because Stephon Diggs ruined him. Tank Dell was a good. I had him Tank Dell last year. He's a good dude. He's a good player, and he just ruined it. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough one out here.
He faces Smash Hawk next week, so 0-5 is definitely on the horizon. But speaking of Smash Hawk, Mile High Salute upset Smash Hawk 170 to 135. So this was like Smash Hawk's third loss. I looked last year; he only lost 2 games, and then he rolled through the postseason and won the championship. And then he started out. This is only his third loss in like 20 weeks.
Wow. And it is an impressive win because it's impressive because you go and talk. My stats aren't populating properly.
Yeah, Justin Fields breakout game. I think he's on the verge of a jump into like the top 10 fantasy quarterbacks. He had 39 points, 312, 3 touchdowns total. Jonathan Taylor, he's probably going to get a lot more work with Anthony Richardson out. Like they're just, not that Flacco's not trustworthy, but I think they're going to rely on the run a little more. James Cook had a dud that he survives. Diggs, Metcalf, Freiermuth, another solid game. Let's see where he's ranked. Yeah, he's a top 5 tight end. That's pretty good.
And this year, I feel like this year is like the year of like tight ends are just neglected. It's a bad year for tight ends for real. Tight end U is not here.
I think we say that every year.
It's showing more and more. DK Metcalf though, like 7 for 104. Big. Pickens 7 for 113. Las Vegas defense gave you 16.
Oh, Fields to Pickens could be a sneaky stack.
Sneaky stack if like Justin Fields wants to. Justin Fields. This has to be Justin Fields clearly his best game he's had in like 2 years. You know what I mean? That because he's not.
No, but
well, no, like quarterback wise, not just fantasy wise.
Right.
Like quarterbacking, you could tell he's like maturing into like a real quarterback now. No, he had like a really dominant game for the Bears. He was running all over the place. But that you can't.
I feel like he's learned more in this 2 months with the Steelers than he learned in 4 years with the Bears.
But even like Mile High, his like Jordan Love came back, 41 points. That's
Jaden
crazy.
Reed, another sneaky stack.
Yeah, Jaden Reed. And Jaden Reed seems to be the number 1 on that team, which is crazy. And even D. Johnson for Carolina, 21 points, really solid. His team scoring really well. I think it's time to give up on McCaffrey for Washington, 1 for 17. I think it's time to give up on him. They're not getting the ball to him. They're just not. They're not doing it.
I'm looking at Brandon's team. Like I said, there's 6-3-1 teams. Mile High Salute is 2-2. I think this is not a fluke win. I think Mile High Salute is looking at this roster, top to bottom. I think he's got a legit contender on his hands. Why did Smash Hawk lose? Kyler Murray only had 14 points, 142 yards. The Commanders just dismantled the Cardinals. They went up big, and the Cardinals still didn't even put up garbage time stats.
When is Kyler Murray going to be good?
He's not. I came to that conclusion this week, honestly.
Like when? I don't understand. Like he has all the talent in the world. Just what's happening? Why are you not? Yeah, 142 yards. You were losing big early. Where is your garbage time yards? Like for real? You know what I mean? Why is not? You should be inflated. You know what I mean? Alvin Kamara continues to be the little engine that could with 77 yards and a touchdown. And he just doesn't break 100 yards rushing, but he gets a lot of all-purpose yards. Rice out, though. He's going to be out probably for the season. More than likely, they say how bad it is.
Yeah, that is a blow.
You know what I mean? Especially for his team because he has Brown on IR, so you can't use another IR spot. So he just has to figure it out. Hopefully Brown cuts off the Schneider. Stroud had a really solid week. If he'd have played Stroud, he'd probably made a little bit difference.
Yeah.
Not a big difference there.
23 points. He still would have lost by like 12 points, but he can probably drop Murray and just play Stroud every week.
You know, he played Smith Njigma instead of Robinson. Robinson had a really solid game, 11 catches, 71 yards. Yeah.
It looks like he has a Rice replacement right here in Robinson, especially if Neighbors misses this week with the concussion he suffered last Thursday. That's all I got on this one. You got anything else?
No, that's it.
The mighty Smash Hawk has fallen. This is Tampa Bay Punishers versus Buck What You Think. Hine improved to 3-1. You are now in a 3-game losing streak after a week 1 victory. What happened?
This week, tough. Again, 0 points from the tight end position. Just hoping for this.
Timeout. You say 0 points from your tight end position like you don't have a top 2 drafted tight end or top 3 drafted tight end. You have Mark fucking Andrews. This is brutal. He's a 38th ranked tight end. He has 9 targets on the season. He should be getting 9 targets a game. What's going on?
It's the game plan how the Ravens want to run their team now. I don't understand. They're going to ground and pound because, you know why? When we get to the box score, we'll show you why. But, you know, in the meantime, everybody else is it's famine for everybody else. Because my opponent played the other tight end, and he got 1 catch. So it's like, it didn't matter. It didn't matter, really. But had a really good game with Baker this week. Baker had a really solid game. Mike Evans had a really solid game.
Rashad White, we talked about him last week. You got to be a little concerned there.
Yeah, you know, Rashad, I want to feel, you know, I think I would say I feel a little concerned, but I'm kind of not. Because I think they're really even with the passing of, not really passing, sorry, distributing the ball between the two of them. And White brings a little bit different to the game what Bucky brings. So, and they're both talented, so they're going to use them in tandem because they really want to run the ball there in Tampa. So that's okay. Yeah, but Calvin Ridley, this Tennessee quarterback situation is turning pretty icy.
And they had a lot of success running the ball last week between Pollard and Spears, and they obviously don't trust Levis. I could see them just going to an all-run offense, basically, and try and ground and pound people to death, which is ironic because the guy they used to do that with, Derrick Henry, is the reason why he lost this game. 199 yards, 2 touchdowns, 43 points. He had an 87-yard touchdown run. It's the longest in Ravens history. He's had 49 carries the last 2 weeks. He scored 4 touchdowns on the season, 1 yard short of 200.
Yeah, it was heavy doses of Lamar and King Henry. Bow down to the king. It's not much I can do with that. You see them kind of stats happen, you're going to lose.
So I just looked. Henry was drafted 16th overall. If we drafted today, he might be the number 1 pick. Him or Saquon.
Well, if it was definitely right now, I think he would be number 1 over Saquon because I think the Eagles.
Yeah,
the Eagles as a team are just terrible right now.
Trending down.
Trending way down, and they're gonna. I mean, Saquon's not even getting the running back catches when they're behind. He's not even getting the short catches either. So they're just using him as straight up.
Plus, he has the injury history.
Correct. Where King Henry is interesting because King Henry doesn't run the read option, so he just runs straight I. They know when they're in I formation, they're gonna run the ball, and Derrick Henry just kills you.
I just saw something pretty funny in this matchup. Both of you started a Ravens tight end. He started Isaiah Likely. You started Mark Andrews, and they combined for 1 catch.
Which is terrible. It's famine right now. I will say that I will probably more likely starting Thomas for Jacksonville because he's leading their team on targets, whatever. He seems to be one of their few bright spots in Jacksonville right now.
18 targets the last 2 weeks. He's had double-digit points in 3 or 4 weeks, and the one time he didn't, he still had 9. So, yeah, you got a guy here. Garrett Wilson is a... Do you want to trade him to me? I got a kicker. I can trade you. That's disappointing, right? Is he your number one disappointment?
No, Mark Andrews is. Garrett Wilson, I figure he was going to have a bad game because he's going to be shadowed by Denver's number one corner. So, Surtain. So I was like, he's going to have a bad game. But after that, he doesn't have any tough matchups throughout the rest of this year. And I think the commotion that's happening right now in New York with the Jets organization being upset with their losses, they're going to come out a little bit different and start trying to sling the ball. Because Aaron Rodgers is coming out like absolute trash. Remember, I drafted Aaron Rodgers before I drafted Baker Mayfield. I drafted Baker Mayfield as an insurance policy. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not good when your insurance policy has been playing since week 2.
Last 2 notes for me in this one. Lamar Jackson with a quiet 30 points, 156 yards passing. He had another 54 yards rushing, combined for 3 touchdowns. And then I do want to shout out Chuba Hubbard. He's like having a very good season. He drafted him 100th overall. He has 50 carries the last 3 weeks. Almost 300 yards rushing, 35 points in week 3, 27 in week 4. So Chuba Hubbard is a dog now.
Their defense, their offense in Carolina is a little bit different now with the red rifle.
Andy Dalton. Yeah, he's a professional quarterback. So I mean, it's not going to be a good offense, but at least it's going to be professional. This takes us to Renegades of Funk versus his Dickner Palmer. This is the DeMoss Bowl. Dave versus Jordan, and little brother destroyed big brother, 148-97.
Jeez, that's high. Is that high points of the week?
That's a good question. No, Brandon, my high salute with 170. Pat Mahomes, little disappointing. He's 14th ranked quarterback, 245, 1 touchdown, 1 pick, 18 points. I mean, Baker Mayfield is outplaying Patrick Mahomes from a fantasy standpoint. James Conner with a bounce-back game, 23 points, 104 yards, a touchdown. Jordan Mason again. I told you he's going to be breakout player. He's the number 4 ranked running back. McCaffrey is done.
Nah. Well, all right, so McCaffrey's situation is definitely it's never good when the football season's happening and it's like, he's went to Germany. They went to see a doctor in Germany. Excuse me? Excuse me? You should not be leaving the United States unless you're playing with your team, sir.
Yeah. I just look more and more right every day on this. 31 points for Jordan Mason. T. Higgins, 12 points, 6 catches, 60 yards. So he's coming around after missing a game or 2 to start the year. Travis Kelce had a good game, 15 points, 7 catches, 89 yards. He's probably going to get more targets now that Rashee Rice is out too.
But I mean, I don't know if it's sure that's not gonna spell well for the Kansas City Chiefs. I just don't.
No.
They're like the Chiefs, everybody's talking about Devontae Adams getting traded right now. We haven't got there yet, but you know
they're not going to trade him within the division. We could talk about Adams now because he was on Funk's bench, and I could see him getting traded to. It's going to be an NFC team. It's not. They're not going to trade him in the conference.
If he's going to be traded anywhere, I see him going to teams he don't want to go to. I can see him going to. I got to think about teams that have money. Indianapolis, the Patriots.
I saw Dallas has $23 million in cap space somehow, which is crazy.
Come on. For what?
Yeah.
So they can have Devontae Adams this year, so they have to cut him next year. You know, they can't afford everybody. They haven't paid their defensive end yet.
Parsons.
Yeah. So I mean, they got no money. That's just fake. But I think I see him going there. I think he would look. I think in the Rams situation would look good because they're struggling right now, and it's not too late.
They've done bold moves like that in the past
because they are fuck them picks. So they'll be like, here, take a 2nd round pick with Devontae Adams, and we'll figure it out later. You know what I mean? We don't have to pay Puka yet. We could, we'll figure it out. Have a Devontae Adams with Stafford, one more, circle the wagons one more time. I can see it. I don't see any NFC's top team getting them. The Saints don't have the money. They just don't. They're in cap hell.
What about
this
the Bucs?
year. The Bucks, we can't afford him. Sorry. The Falcons, they can't afford him. He's not getting the ball to Kyle Pitts. So come on, Devontae, don't do it. Don't do it. You know what I mean? New York would have the money, but why would he want to go play for, Danny Dimes?
Daniel Jones. I have no sympathy for these guys who request multiple trades like him and Diggs. Like you asked to be traded out of Green Bay. This is on you. Good.
Well, in fairness, he didn't ask for it to be traded because Aaron Rodgers said, I want to get paid, and I'm going to get paid the most instead of taking a little bit of cut so then Devontae could stay. He said, well, you're going to pay me, and Devontae got to go. He pretty much, he went more dickhead than Brett Favre. Hard to believe, but he did.
Ooh, spoiler alert, we'll be getting to Brett Favre later. But Funk fucked up here. Carson Steele, -1.6 yards and a fumble. I understand playing him, but it just obviously didn't work. He had 17 carries, 72 yards, 14 points in week 2. He had 2 carries, 6 yards this week, and now Kareem Hunt's about to take that job. I looked at Kareem Hunt last week. I need a running back, and I didn't push the button, and now I'm kicking myself. He's easily the #1 waiver claim next week or tonight. Amon-Ra St. Brown threw a touchdown pass, which was interesting.
Right.
But
yeah,
this was a blowout. There's really not much here to talk about.
Yeah, there's nothing really to talk about much here, other than Pittsburgh defense only 2 points. That's a strange.
I thought they were
going to
stomp the Colts.
Yeah, and it's just the curious case of the Jacksonville Jaguars. What's wrong with this team?
They're broken. It's totally broken.
Because the coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars, same coach used to be the coach of the Eagles.
Yeah,
Doug Peterson. So is it a Doug Peterson thing? Or...
Yeah, I don't know. It's looking like
Peterson,
it.
He flamed out in Eagle Land, and now he's going to flame out here too? Because they got Bill Belichick, supposedly.
Yeah, some of these coaches do not adjust, and it's looking like he just... And I think that's what got him fired from Philadelphia, and it looks like it's just happening here in Jacksonville. He just has his system, and he's going to ride it until he gets fired, basically. I don't know. Or he just doesn't know how to... It's weird. It happens all the time with coaches.
Think about it. He would have had to coach 2 first-round quarterbacks that are elite first-round quarterbacks. And, well, T-Law elite is still jury's out because he hasn't shown us enough yet.
Yeah, he's getting worse.
He's falling into mediocrity now. So he's ruining a guy who's been the best quarterback since high school.
Yeah, it's hard to fuck those up, those generational first overall picks, and they're doing it. We go to MVP versus Lucky Lions. Brindle changed his name from Lionheart, which is stupid. Lionheart goes back to a league he's had that team name for 20 years, going back to a league we used to play in. But, yeah, Lionheart's dead. 153 to 146. MVP, that's Spawn. He's won 3 in a row after losing in week 1. Lucky Lions falls to 2-2. Basically, Spawn got saved by Kenny Walker III on Monday Night Football. Got a 37-point miracle to win by 7 points here.
Kenny Walker balled out. He balled out for real. He's a real deal. Real deal.
He has another real deal on his bench in Chase Brown of the Bengals. 15 carries, 80 yards, 2 touchdowns, 29 points. This is a breakout game. Before this game, he had 14 carries in the first 3 weeks. He had 15 this week. Bengals are going to start playing better for sure. They weren't an 0-3 team, even though their record said they were. But that was on his bench. He got George Kittle back. He played 2 tight ends this week in Cole Kmet and George Kittle.
That's risky right there.
Yeah, Justin Jefferson had another 20, 6 catches, 85 yards, touchdown. Where's he ranked? Yeah, he's the 3rd ranked receiver. What a mistake. I wasn't interested in him at draft time. That was stupid.
But I mean, look. Hindsight is 2020. Even Justin Jefferson, you're like, man, this could be an absolute shit storm. This could be a Tyreek Hill situation. You know, I mean, you see it coming, and you see it coming, and you're like, I'm gonna welcome a Tyreek Hill situation. No, you're not. So,
Yeah, this Tyreek Hill thing is bad. Yeah, not too much here, though. Joe Burrow, 24 points. Spawn's 3-1, though.
Malik Neighbors right here, 12 for 115, but he got concussion. Who was looking like the real thing. Sam Laporta emerged with 4 catches for 53 yards because he's been getting no catches. He's been in purgatory for a good while as well. So that's definitely something to look at there. But his team, Gibbs and Jared Goff, whatever, nice. He has Detroit Lions like offense as like his running backs and quarterbacks. So it's I get you might be a Lions fan, but that's deeper than me right there. That's a Buccaneers fan. I can't buy the whole entire offense, but he's buying the entire offense because he played J-Mo as well and a tight end. So it's like when they're good, and when they're bad, it could be bad.
Right. He's fucked this week because the Lions are on a bye. He's already trying to get me to trade with them. And look, he had to play Ezekiel Elliott, the flex here. Remember I told Ezekiel to go home? He should have stayed home. 19 yards, 4 points. This guy is fucking cooked.
He's like, go home. Stay home. That's just funny.
Yeah, he is cooked. But, yeah, Brindle lost a heartbreaker here. I don't know really what else to say. Jared Goff played a perfect game last night. Second of the year. Jaden Daniels had the other one. You see anything else here?
No, that's it, right? That's really.
So he has all them bye weeks problems with the Lions, and Malik Neighbors has a concussion. He's lucky Neighbors suffered that concussion on Thursday because it gave him he might be able to play this week. But if he would have got concussed on Sunday, yeah, he would not be playing. We go to the New Day Co-op, Slade. He's also on a 3-game winning streak after losing in week 1. He beat Sweetness 34, 91-81. This was a pillow fight. Kirk Cousins, another dud. Breece Hall with a mega dud. Only 4 yards on 10 carries. I don't even know how that's possible. Josh Jacobs, 13. Nico Collins just continues his breakout. The number 1 ranked receiver. 12 catches, 15 targets, 151 and a touchdown. You're just waiting for Stephon Diggs to get jealous of the Nico Collins show.
Well, like I said, it won't get jealous if they keep winning. If they keep winning, it's fine. The problem is that if they start losing, and that's what happened in Buffalo, they were doing fine, and they start losing, and then he's like, I need the ball more. I need the ball more. And it's like, That's the problem. It's like, it's all fun and games when you're winning and not getting targets. When you're not getting targets and you're losing, now you're just upset.
Young Wei Koo, 20-point kicker. There's been so many 20-point kickers. I love the kicking revolution that's happening this year because of the what's it called? The high 2 safeties. So the passing has, I don't want to say regressed, but yeah, I guess regressed to the mean a little bit because passing was out of control for a few years, and now like running backs are coming back into play in football. I love it, but the kickers are benefiting. Heads up play from Slade, though. He benched the defense on Monday night. He had the Seahawks defense, which got him a -2. He knew he had the game in lock, so why risk the defense if it's a close game?
Yeah, that's smart. If you already got it in hand, why not? Don't lose any more points. You got nothing. You got to win in hand, clean. Without it, then yeah, that's a smart move because you could definitely get it. We've seen -10 before. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So it can be bad.
Yeah, heads up. Heater, Josh Allen had his worst game of the year. That's fine. You still roll him out there every week. Bijan, it says he's questionable. Do you know what happened? Hamstring.
Man, he gets banged up. He's just not. He's not your prototypical running back. He's a more of a Jahmyr Gibbs, but they don't use him like they use him like he's Tyler Algier, and it's like they're not the same people. You know what I mean? Tyler Algier is your bang, straight, one-cut guy, where he's more of your scat back, and that's the problem. So Bijan will be. I'm still waiting to see the upside. I'm still waiting for him to see this like amazing 3-touchdown, 150 yards rushing type situation. We haven't seen that yet. You know what I mean? This is all fluke. Atlanta has been selling us a bale of goods on all their skill positions now for like last 3 years. Kyle Pitts, Drake London, you know what I mean? Bijan Rush. It's like, stop. And Tyler Algier is the only one that's been like show and true with Arthur Smith as the offensive coordinator. He was like, yeah, just run up the middle. Got it. You know what I mean? It's like.
So Heater fucked up here. He played Devontae Smith and got a 0, so he deserved to lose. If he would have played Jordan Addison, he would have won. Or Xavier Legette from the Panthers. So
Xavier Legette, that was his best game. I'm glad he lost. So that
yeah.
That was his best game, though, so it was hard. He has no track record to show.
But, I mean, he's better than the guy with the brain injury who didn't suit up.
Fair. That is fair. Fair point. I'll let you have that one.
But, yeah, there's nothing here. DeAndre Swift, I guess, 35 points, 93 yards, a touchdown. Before this game, he had a combined.
That was his best game.
Yeah. He had 30 points weeks 1 through 3 and 35. He probably saved the job because Roshan Johnson was starting to make some noise. Last game, Nakua Matata for Stealing the Winds. Matata has lost 2 in a row. Stealing the Winds won 157 to 113. Just a flat game for Jones here. Just 22 from Hurts, 158 yards passing. Ramondre Stevenson, 43 yards and a fumble. If the he's just going to die on this Patriots offense, isn't he?
Yeah, they're going to run him to the ground. It's the Patriot way.
Najee Harris, 19 yards, and the loss to the Colts. Jamar Chase had 3 catches, 85 yards. He had that big, like, 60-yard touchdown or something.
Yeah.
Ladd McConkey, though, 5 catches, 67 yards, a touchdown. That's pretty good.
Is it?
Yeah, because the Chargers have only thrown for like 500 yards so far this season. That's not even exaggerating.
It's just depressing. It's like, we know who Herbert is. We know who he is. We know who he is. Like, are you kidding me? Like,
he's banged up though.
I don't care. Like, yeah. He threw for like 150. Like, what is that, man? Mm-hmm. Like, Herbert, he could throw it all over the yard, and it's like, who is this team? Like, Herbert needs to be like, he just signed a contract too. That's what sucks. Herbert's like, dog, I'm stuck. I'm stuck in like this non-quarterback,
this college offense.
Not even college.
Not even college.
Michigan,
high school. Yeah.
I'm stuck in the Michigan offense of like, yeah, I could throw 9 times a game and just hand the ball off and try to do short passes all game.
But I guess the best story here for I guess the best story here for Jones is Michael Pittman showed some life. 6 catches, 113, 17
The question
points.
I have for you is that Jalen Hurts, what's his problem? He
just
has like
Nick Sirianni.
seven turnovers. It's not even 5 games yet. He has 7 turnovers.
He hates that head coach. It's like a known fact from what I understand. And he's playing like a guy who doesn't want to be there.
But he signed this huge contract. Huge contract.
Yeah, you're not gonna turn down the money.
You're not a running back. You're not a wide receiver. You can't just leave. You're the franchise.
He's still top 8.
Is he top 8? Is he top 8 right now? Right now, he's top 8.
Scoring wise, but I agree with you. Like, I wouldn't feel good about rolling him out there.
Eye test says he's not top 15 right now.
Dak Prescott stealing the wins. Very good team. I think. Damn, he got 33 points from the 49ers defense against the Patriots. But Prescott, a very good game, 24 points. Barkley, 17 points. Aaron Jones, I did not see this coming. I thought he was going to go to Minnesota and die. Just because, that's what happens when you have a very good career and you play like 10 years. Usually when that second team is just because you're done. And that's not the case here. Aaron Jones, he'd be a first-round pick if we drafted today, and he was drafted 48th.
Look, man, I'm just throwing it out here. But Minnesota, they're playing really well because they're playing with a chip on their shoulder. Because we all of us thought Minnesota was going to be trash this year. We just knew it. We're like, oh, this is going to be a trash. This is going to be a trash team. You know what I mean? This is a redo year. They're gonna be trash. They got Sam Darnold. You know, their running back Aaron Jones, the corpse of Aaron Jones. We've seen this before. Their defense got problems. You know what I mean? It's like, you know what I mean? It's not gonna be good. It's not gonna be good. And then look at them. They're playing.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Their what's name? Their defensive coordinator is Brian Flores.
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't know that. So yeah, it's a huge difference. I'm like, wait a minute, I didn't know that. Brian Flores is essentially that Steeler defense. You installed the Steelers defense they ran last year in Minnesota.
Yeah, Flores is like a top 8 head coach, and he's coaching a defense. So
right.
Yeah.
So that's a huge difference.
Kyle Pitts with the dud. He stealing Art survived Kyle Pitts dud. Jalen Waddle. If Tyreek Hill's fucked. Jalen Waddle. Jaden Waddle. Is it Jalen or Jaden?
Jaden.
Jalen. Yeah, I thought it was Jalen. Yeah, he's fucked. That's a pretty disappointing receiving corps. London, Waddle, and Pitts.
It's really bad now because he bet on the Atlanta offense. That's not happening. Where it's like Kyle Pitts has been on a milk carton for 3 years, and we've yet to see him break 100 and be the Florida. I think he sold us. Kyle Trask. I blame Kyle Trask because Kyle Trask made
the quarterback
Pitt and what was the wide receiver that was on Kansas City got cut, and he was just be a Giant first round draft pick.
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, it's driving me nuts now.
Both them guys was in Florida, and Kyle Trask was throwing to both of them, and they were killing it, and they both got drafted at the same exact time, and Kyle Trask went second round, and like Kyle Trask is still, as a backup, effective at least, as a backup quarterback. Kyle Pitt comes out there and puts a clown mask on every day, and the other guys sing at home.
What's his name? Kadarius Toney.
There it is. Kadarius Toney.
That's pretty bad. We forgot his name already.
But that's what I'm saying, though, right? I'm telling you, though. This is the games, the smoke and mirrors that we fall under with this fantasy bowl, because we're like, wait a minute, what's the real story? Kyle Trask made them look good, just like Mike Evans made Johnny Football look really good, and we're like, oh, Johnny Football's gonna be great, and he was garbage, because it's like, wait a minute, he's garbage. So
yeah, shout out Geno Smith on the bench, 395 yards, 30 points.
Shout out
if
Geno,
I were him,
man.
Yeah, unbelievable career resurrection.
There is an article, I saw it on YouTube, but someone made a video essay about like quarterbacks, their quarterback renaissance of like, is it the GMs need to start rethinking how fast they give up on quarterbacks, because
yes,
sometimes they take a little longer, because now you're seeing Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, Geno Smith, you know what I mean, all these guys, like, they're making it happen again, and it's like they never really lost it. They were just they just understood the game slower. You know what I mean? They have all the tools. Geno, praise be to him, man, because I didn't think he's from West Virginia. My man didn't have to throw far at all. He was on Jets team. The Jets was terrible. They had no offensive weapons for him at all. You know what I mean?
His own teammate punched him in the face and broke his face. His jaw, yeah.
Broke his jaw. You know what I mean? He was just like, he was a joke. And it's like, all right, we'll pick Geno up. And then Seattle, for everything that former Seattle head coach is, he was like, all right, Geno, I believe in you. Come here and, you can compete and play within our offense. And Geno's doing exactly what he's supposed to do. Geno's not going to win a game for you. He's not going to Stroud the situation like last week where Stroud won the game, like game-winning drive, and just like, I'm going to score a touchdown.
He's not going to lose it for you either, though. And
right.
I could see him just being a good reality quarterback, but he's also a good fantasy quarterback. That's what's so surprising about this.
He gives you 2 touchdowns every week. I think he's averaging like 250 to 275 yards. So he's giving you a solid at least 20 points a game.
Yeah, I would try and trade him for a receiver if I were Art, because, like we said, Pitt, Waddle, and London, just not good. The fantasy special teams here was a 56-9, so that played a lot in Jones's loss. And then Rico Dowdle had I don't want to say a breakout game, but he got 11 carries. So he's officially like the leading rusher for the Cowboys now with the death of Ezekiel Elliott.
And that's not good. That's not good. 'Cause he did against the Giants. Who Dallas play again next? Who they play next week? Who Dallas play next week?
I don't know.
I demand answers because it's not going to be it's not going to be pretty because we're going to sit here and be like, oh, Dallas is so good, blah 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 blah, and then they're going to go out here and they're going to get embarrassed by the next team they play.
To the standings real quick, like I said earlier, there's 6 3-1 teams, 3 2-2 teams, 4 1-3 teams, and 1 0-4 teams. But there's no shenanigans going on here. All the top teams are the top scoring teams. There's no fluky. I mean, there's a couple out of order, but there's really no fluky shit happening. And then Smash Hawk is the leading scorer at 679. I have 610. I have the most points against me at 608. I'm fortunate to be 3-1. Usually when you have the most points against you, you get screwed pretty good.
Yeah, you put up quite a bit of points though too. So you're a high scoring affair.
I'm the only team with over 600 points scored against them.
You know what I mean? You're usually a high scoring affair. Like you can't score like me less than 50 and expect to be like undefeated. You know.
So that's it. What else do we got here? Oh, who's your player of the week?
Player of the week.
Remember, they have to have started. I would say their team will have to have won the game also.
Let's give it to Jared Goff. 18 for 18 last Monday night.
He lost the game.
No, the Lions won.
No, Brindle's team lost the game.
Oh,
Player of the week for our fantasy league.
Oh, I can't even do it because my stats aren't pulling up. You have to skip me this time around. I'll have one next week, guaranteed.
Okay. Well, Nick passed on player of the week. He said no one deserved it. I'm gonna go with Justin Fields. I'll fix that in the edit. I'm going with Justin Fields. Brandon was the first team to defeat Smash Hawk. Like I said, for the first time in, no joke, literally almost like 20 weeks. It's probably 17 or 18 weeks going back to last season. Brandon plucked Fields off the post-draft scrap heap. He's only getting better as he gains more of a stranglehold on the job from Russell Wilson and as he gets more comfortable in the Steelers' offense. And he's ready to break out, I think. He's only owned in 34% of the leagues. Remind me next week to look where he's at from an ownership on ESPN perspective because I bet he's up.
Player of the week
next week.
I have an easy player of the week. It'd be Derrick Henry, bro. 199.
Yeah.
Two total touchdowns. I mean, King Henry's back. Here's the conspiracy theory for you. Was Russell Wilson ever considered the starter for the Steelers? When they brought him in, did they like this guy could be our starter? And then they say we have Russell, but we really want Justin to be our starter.
I like it, but I'm going to say yeah, just because of the fact that he hasn't even played yet, really. I don't know, though. They've been dressing him, right?
Which is ridiculous, because if he can't play, why is he dressed?
Maybe they did that to save – maybe Russell is such a clown. I could see him asking them to do something like that to –
you say he's a clown.
Like save embarrassment. He is a clown. He's a clown. A very good football player, but he got weird there in Denver.
Oh, he got definitely weird. He got to his head.
I used to think like the Seahawks players were being unfair to him, and then once I saw what he did in Denver and the reports that came out of him like getting his own office and stuff, I was like,
that was a bit fair.
He let this shit get to his head. Yeah.
So you were talking about Brett Favre earlier.
Brett Favre, this is why he is my Fantasy Hall of Fame nominee. Welcome to the Fantasy Hall of Fame, Brett Favre.
But I thought, isn't he in the regular Hall of Fame?
Yeah, you could be in the Fantasy Hall of Fame and the regular Hall of Fame.
I think you could double dip like that. I thought that's our rule. We don't do that. Our rule is you are not in the real Hall of Fame, but you would be in the regular Hall of Fame. That's how we do it.
Not this week. We're giving him a pity run for his Parkinson's diagnosis.
What? He won't remember it.
Yeah. Oh my
God.
Is that? Yeah. So the one and only Brett Favre, welcome to our Fantasy League Hall of Fame. I used to love watching this gunslinger. So for the purposes of this Hall of Fame induction, we'll ignore the many reasons that he is a human piece of shit, and we'll just focus on his football resume. drafted by the Falcons, where he spent one season. He was traded to Green Bay, where he spent 16 seasons, 1 year with the Jets, 2 with Minnesota. One of them was very sad. He's a Super Bowl 31 champion, 3 consecutive NFL MVP awards, 11 Pro Bowls, the 1990s All-Decade Team, the NFL 100th Anniversary All-Time Team, 2007 Sports Illustrated Sportsman of the Year. In Iron Man, 297 consecutive starts, 321 when you include the playoffs. I forgot all about that, to be honest.
That's crazy.
71,838 passing yards, 508 touchdowns, all-time NFL leader with 336 interceptions. And then he also had one perfectly timed cameo in There's Something About Mary.
Yes, he did. Yeah. Beyond the whole human garbage aspect of him, Brett Favre was fun to watch play. Fun to watch the play. You know what I mean? Because you knew if Brett was playing, and if they were like close, you could tell he probably like whispers to his head, like to the head coach, the offensive coordinator when they call a play, and he gets in the huddle. He's like, "All right, guys, fuck it, we're gonna do this." You know what I mean? And he just calls some play like, "Hey, Donald, go deep. Hey, Javon, go deep." You know what I mean? Just go deep, bro, and I'm gonna throw it to you. And that was how it worked, especially with the whole Aaron Rodgers situation. When he showed up, got drafted, he didn't want him to get drafted. He's like, I'm not here to teach this guy. And that was like, for real.
Yeah, you always knew Brett Favre had the biggest balls on the field.
Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre flirted with going to Tampa because at the time when he was about to leave, Chucky was the head coach. So there was a time where they were talking about him possibly going there, and I think it would have been great. It would have been Tom Brady going to Tampa before. You know what I mean? And speaking of that, Tom Brady said that the Bears were actually talking to him, possibly going to the Bears before he went to Tampa. Can you picture Tom going to Chicago? How cold it is there? Like it would have been terrible. It would have been a
shit show.
Yeah, I'm like, why would you want that?
Gruden was always picking up veteran quarterbacks there, and Brett Favre thrived in the West Coast offense that Gruden ran, so that would have been fun. But yeah, that's it this week.
Small little shout out here to if you think Gruden's a piece of garbage human being for his emails he sent that got him fired in Oakland, I understand. However, as a Buccaneer fan, I have a warm spot in my heart just for him a little bit. He has a YouTube page now, and he reviews football games from a coach standpoint. He has the whole white chalkboard, and he breaks down both teams and how kind of personnel positives and negatives on YouTube. So you can find it, like if you type in John Gruden, he breaks it just down. He does it almost kind of like ESPN-esque, but he does it like in his house, it looks like. So he's trying to get them checks. So that's a little plug, I guess. I'm not endorsed by it or not like that, but I ran across it. And if you're a friend of the deep football shit like I am, like that, and me and Billy like that, then you would like it.
Yeah, Gruden's a good talker, and he got it. I don't want to defend him, but he got a little railroaded there. Yeah. I mean, he's obviously like a meathead, but like, what a bizarre. He thought he was talking to his friends. You know what I mean? He didn't do a Brett Favre and steal millions from welfare recipients,
or even like send his penis to other women through text message when he was in New York Jets. But at the same time, allegedly,
I don't know. It's not good. Like I said, I don't want to defend him, but the punishment doesn't fit the crime. I would say
it don't.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's that's the best way I could put it.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, hey, if Gruden wants to do this YouTube page, he'll get some people watching it because he's really good with the information, and he's a talker, and he's a character. You know what I mean? He's a character because even I like watching little short clips. I like watching Baldy clips, like when he breaks down offensive linemen and defensive linemen, how they do stuff. I like watching that just like and passerby on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it. So
it's X now. Twitter used to be fun. This X thing is like it's despicable.
It is a cesspool of OnlyFans and racial slurs.
It's bad. All right, let's get out of here.
Yeah.
Good luck, everybody. We'll see you back next week for Week 5. That's it. Go Commanders.
Yeah, man. R.I.P. Mutombo.